business informatics, at the undergraduate level, we are the only university that offers that across the continent. And that there are patches of business informatics in different qualifications in the world and even on the continent. So you will find maybe business administration having a subject called business informatics. Or you will have an engineering course in Germany or maybe in Switzerland or North America having this business informatics as a subject, not as a qualification. In Germany, they have master's and doctoral qualification in business informatics, emphasizing the fact of the business management, right? And so products or graduates coming out of business informatics program stand a better chance in terms of digital transformation, because it is not about the technology, it is about the business imperatives. And if I understand my business, then I know which technology to appropriate to enable those imperatives of the business, right? Having been a consultant for years and worked in the private sector for almost 13 years before coming back to academic. I used to be in academic. And then just before the Y2K, City of Cape Town hired me. So I left. At that time, it was University of Transkei that I used to lecture computer science. And so when I came to Cape Town to work for the city for the Y2K transition, then I picked up so many things and worked for Praveen Gordon under SAS, and then went to Submarine and MES to become their software development director. Then I went to work for Tokyo Sequale, and then I came back to academic. And when I came back to the academic, I could see the gap in our qualifications, preparing graduates to be more marketable or employable, right? Particularly the IT people coming out of university or computer science people coming out of university are so technical that they only understand technology. They are not seeing the business aspect of the organization. And so the business informatics, we took 2 years to benchmark the qualification, the whole South Africa, Africa, Europe, and North America. I have to do that kind of benchmarking to justify to the Department of Higher Education that this qualification is needed. And it took 4 years for the qualification to be approved, right? And the qualification makes graduates, as I've already indicated, more employable in the sense that you know the business, you understand business, you understand trends of business, and you understand digital technology, if I may put it that way. And therefore, you are in a better position to even become a consultant, where you tell people, if your business is in this direction, right, these are the type of technology you can use. Or if you want to transform your business, then you can go this direction, right? I remember I was consulting for National Port Authority in I think it was 2012. I was consulting for them. And what I did the first 2 days, because of my understanding of business and technology, I told them, I don't need IT people in this room. IT people must stay in their offices and come on the 3rd day. Because on the 1st and 2nd day, I need to know the pains of the business, right? I need to know the pains of the National Port Authority. Where are they going? What are they struggling with? What are the main strategic objectives that they have to achieve in terms of their mandate from Parliament, right? And so I have to go through 2 days of teasing out their business and reducing it into what enablers, what I call business enablers. What will enable them to perform in terms of their legislative obligation, right? And then after that, I brought the IT people in. I said, this is what the business are saying. right? All the business units in National Port Authority, this is what they are saying. How can you use your technology to enable these businesses or these business challenges? At the end of the day, we have a strategy, right? So strategy from your perspective as a business informatics a graduate, you stand a better chance to be able to help business into that pathway. That it's not about technology, it's about how do you want to position the business. Looking at the market trend, looking at global trend, looking at economic trend. That is why all these subjects are there. The economics in your qualification, all the business management in your qualification gives you that better understanding of the business trend, where business is going, the global economy is going, so that at least you will be able to tell management, you will be able to tell anyone that this is how you can digitally transform to be ahead of the competition or to outwit your competitor, right? And so the qualification is to make you more employable. And also, because I teach technopreneurship, right, with a banking student, it can also lead to you starting your own businesses, right? Because now you understand business, you understand technology. So why are you going to look for employment? You can set up your business and say, hey, I can sell your company for you. I can take your company to the next level. My price is 800 an hour. You're already a rich person. But when you go and look for a job after graduation, you're going to start you from 200 rand an hour, right? When would you buy a car when you buy a house, right? So, but with this understanding, you can start formulating your ideas of starting your own business, either as a consultant or as a service provider that you have. And this is the trick. You don't have to work alone. Unfortunately, I'm a Liverpool supporter. We don't work alone, right? So you need to partner. Among you, there are people who are brilliant understanding economics. There are people who are brilliant understanding management. And there are people here who are good when it comes to IT, right? Within the course. Come together and form a company. Come together and then work in a manner that the economics person look at economic trends globally. You management look at the management challenges in this thing. Let's just go and sell ideas to companies, right? And when companies see you as young as you are, they'll give you the opportunity. There is an IT company called Zemela Technology, if you have come across them. Zemela Technology, the CEO was my student. And in the classroom, I said to them, why are you doing projects like this and not turning it into business? And they turned, because it was business process management. So they turned the business process management into a company. Went to Norman India, who was then the mayor at that time, and said, hey, we are young people, black young students. We have developed this idea. Can we be part of the SAP implementation of City of Cape Town? And this is the proof of the company. They are the leading black empowered company in South Africa for SAP implementation and training. That's where it came from. They were students from a university. At that time, I was doing part-time for UWC in the information management and information system department. And they were my students at honors level. And that is how it came out to be. So you have opportunity with BBI in creating your business now. Think out of the box, right? That's what we always say. Think out of the box. But my view is that if there's no box, then what do you do? Right? That means you have to be more creative and more innovative. You don't look left, you don't look right. All you are seeing is changes, reimagining things that we do every day, that you reimagine how it will look like tomorrow, how it will look like 3 days ago. Did anybody think about Uber? Right? We were all jumping into taxis. But somebody like yourself was thinking beyond, right? Reimagining transportation. Uber is not transportation. Uber is a management information system, right? But underneath is the transportation. because the transportation is driving the management information system. Because if you go onto the system and say, I want to go to the airport from here, what do you get? You get a transport or you get information. So it gives you an information, and then you appropriate the information by saying yes, and then the driver comes. So if you had not got the information, so Uber initially was set up for what? Mapping up routes. Not to transport people, but mapping up routes. So that when people go on there, they can charge. So original information was not about what? Charging, but was to gather information and now they're selling the information to you. So you can think of that line and then start formulating things that if I imagine, reimagine what is happening now, how can it, transform to be something different, right? You will still have time because I can give another example.
Of course, let me start with questions as well.
Because I'm also a supervisor and a researcher, we have produced almost 11 different products that are coming to the market that will blow your mind, right? One of them is Easy Taxi. Easy Taxi is a master thesis that has been converted into a product. Now, Easy Taxi looks at those of you who travel long distance, right? You go to the station, you will sit in the taxi for almost 3 hours before you get full, right? For instance, you are in Cape Town, you want to go to Butterworth, or you are in Cape Town, you want to go to Bradasdorp or someplace, right? You have to stand by the roadside, or you have to go to the station and sit in a combi or a quantum until it is full to leave. Now, what this system is doing for long distance travelers and also bringing in convenience of payment. And the third one is how owners of taxis deal with taxi drivers. If you understand that industry, that's why it's chaos. Because a taxi driver can be hired in the morning and afternoon he has no job. They will fire you, right? When the owner gets up and is drunk, he will hire you. When he's sober, he doesn't need you. So you will go, right? So the taxi industry is very, very fragile and unpredictable. So this system makes it more predictable, right? And when the taxi is not being used and is sitting there waiting, it can be used to shuttle, right? From one place to the other. So the student system actually manages the whole long distance travel. So if you want to go to Bradasdorp on Saturday or go to Butterworth on Saturday, you go to the app called Easy Taxi, you book your seat, and it will tell you it's $350. But because you have booked in advance, you get a discount, right? Because you're not going to wait at the station anymore. So by the time you get to the station, it's already full, right? And then you go. When you get down at your station, what you have booked, you scan the QR code, and then the money goes off your account into the taxi account. But when it gets into the taxi account, it's a distribution because we're using blockchain. And so it distributes the money to the driver. What the driver, because there are 3 different contracts for the drivers. You are hired by hourly basis, or you are hired by commission, or you are hired on a fixed amount, right? Irrespective of the money you bring in, you are fixed. So if your contract, which is also on blockchain, right, blockchain settlement system that we have developed, is that when you arrive and all passengers have gone down, right, you get your portion, either in the form of commission or whatever, based on your contract. Then you return based on your contract. So the owner of the taxi is sitting at home laughing, getting his money without being there. Now you are not going to him and count the money you have made. It's already there. And he can decide to cash the money from ATM because they don't want to pay tax. So they can cash it from ATM. And if you want to go to the bank, we will set it up to go to the bank. Currently, the product is being piloted at a taxi association called Copano in Velcro, which I have been there and worked with them. And I'm going to go again to continue to work with them. Because that is how we develop product. If you are learning how to set up a business, one, you have to have an idea. And is the idea sympathetic to the people who are going to use it? You cannot develop a business that has no market. You cannot develop a business that has no user. So we train you to be able to understand the user needs. So that when you build a business, you target certain users. And where are the users? In Kairija or Constantia. So you are able to sentimentalize your market again so that your business becomes successful because you know what you're targeting, right? Like if we have this clothing or what Louis Vuitton, right? Those ladies, they like that, right? Do you know how they sell their product? They give it to celebrities. The things that celebrities when they don't buy, none of them. Because those people who produce the shoes and the clothing and the jacket and what have you, give it to them to wear. So that when you see, oh yes, it's nice, I'm going to buy, it's got it. But they themselves worry they don't buy. And that is how they market their business. So if you are setting a business, you should know your user, you should know your consumer, you should know your market, so that you can become sustainable. That is why many businesses started to pull out because they fail to do those things. In business management, I think when you get to the third year, right, you will be learning those things because I will come and teach you, right? You will be learning those things. And so,
Mr. Prof. Mike.
So the DBI was designed specifically to change the perspective of graduate employment. That we want a large percentage of our students to go out there and create their own businesses instead of going to look for jobs. Now, what we have started is to create your businesses while you are here. Because if you go out to create a business, the infrastructure you will use, you will pay for it. But here is free. You got lecturers, you got people like me, you got many people in the university who can support you. And we got infrastructures. My center is just up here. You've seen that. And then there is TTO, Technology Transfer Center, which is also available. So when you develop something and it has to be registered, they will do it for you. Even if it is a company, they will register for you. But the development of the idea and turning the idea into business, we do it up here. All right? And so we have been nominated, the whole Africa, to coach and mentor young people who are coming into the tourism space. So I heard the Africa Tourism Innovation Hub in the whole Africa is here upstairs that we do. Now I have finished another project that came last week, right? Touring 8 universities to let them understand that teaching entrepreneurship and making people write tests and exams, they will never build business. Correct. Right? They will never build business. So the way we teach entrepreneurship, I have changed you to what venture building. You go to build a venture. And so I was given money by RISA, which is a subsidiary of United Kingdom in International Development, and to set up this new concept. And I have to get 8 universities to support it. They supported it. Their vice chancellors, everyone supported. And so we have implemented it. We've got 300 students across 80 universities. And I don't know whether some of you applied, because CPUT was the highest, 80 applicants. But we had to choose only 3, because the money given to me was not for everyone, but for only 3 students. And they went through the processes. Now, if I tell you the 3 projects that have come out of this university that is going out, investors are looking for it, it will blow your mind. There is a woman here who has made a hair product. Have you come across it? Sana product. She's a second-year student, but she's got a product that she's selling on campus here. And the ladies, when you use it, it makes your hair grow afro. If you don't want to wear the wigs and the braids again, go and look for it. If you want the name of every, come to our office. We'll tell you the lady, and then you can go and buy some. It makes your hair grow afro and also shining and thick like a true African woman. Right? These wigs are deceiving us. Right. And then there is another student who has created using recycled material to produce jackets. Right? And if you see the jacket, you will never buy jacket anywhere. He has even now created hoodies from recycled material, right? So now we've given him a company that does what do you call it, sewing and this thing, and he's using the same floor to increase the product. You couldn't meet the demand. Even in this university, staff and students were buying, right? So now he has to go and produce more, and he doesn't buy the material because it's recycled. He goes through Kailicha, Langan, related to collecting the jeans you don't use, the shirts you don't use, all those leather jackets and water feed that people are throwing away. He said, give it to me. And he needs a warehouse to keep this, which we have given to him. And then he will be able to cut this into pieces and then what? Start sewing it. And if you see the jacket, go to his website. It's called Simu, right? Simu, and you will see the type of jacket he has developed and the distance. So I asked the guy, where did you get these skills from? My grandma. The grandmother taught him how to sew.
So
right?
someone is communicated an idea
Yes.
and develops that.
And then you use that. Right. And many of us have got grandmothers, but all what we do is, oh, mama, mama, mama. You are not learning from your mother. You are not learning because these women and men have come through a system where knowledge was not written, but knowledge was in their head. Right? There's another lady who has done what we call hot sauce. If you take the hot sauce, you will never eat Nando's hot sauce. Right? Where did he get the recipe from? From the grandmother. You know, we Africans, we have got certain cuisines that even restaurants are copied, but they don't cook it. Your mother can cook magunya better than the one you see in the shop. Am I lying? Does it taste the same? The one that your mother does in the house and the one you buy from outside, is it the same? When your mother does what you call cocktail, oxtail gravy, the way it tastes, and if you compare it with outside, does it taste the same? So let me ask you something. How many of you understand the dining table in your house? Is there anyone who can tell me what the dining table in your house does? It's only for visitors. Have you realized that? Your mother would decorate that dining table with all kinds of flowers and cloth.
And for December.
Yeah.
End of the year.
When we are eating chicken, then you go and sit there. Or when a visitor comes to the house, then you go and sit there. Most of the time, the dining table is what? Is not used. Imagine this oxtail gravy with what? With what the person the Zulus call it? The green pap. Huh? How do you call the green pap? The one you use, what do you call it? Veggies, spinach, right? The spinach to cook the pap. Hey, you know the Africans, what, did you grow up in the city? Yeah. You know, Africans, we have so much cuisines that the modern world, or we say the Western world, had copied, but the taste is not the same. So, the reason why I'm saying this is that you sitting here with the business management knowledge and information technology knowledge, you can create an app. And it doesn't mean you do it yourself. You have the idea, you call the IT people, hey, I want to create an app. You can come to the center, my Gen Z guys, right? These days they are even more than guys, they are more ladies over there. And you know where the ladies come from? They don't come from IT, they come from chemical engineering. They come from mechanical engineering. They are doing the apps for me, right? Why? They come and learn. So you come, bring your idea, we will do the app for you, and this is how the app will look like. You will put all the African authentic cuisine on it, the one that your mother can cook that nobody in this world can cook. You put it in there, and then you say a plate is 250 rand, and it is only for Sunday 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock every Sunday. They will sell it because the table can only take 6. So we get 6 people, 250 every Sunday. You're not making money, right? And you know how many visitors come into Cape Town? 20 million a year. They are looking for what? Authentic African cuisine. So they go to all these African restaurants and they don't get a taste. But we can tap into it and then get something, right? So in the Innovation Center, these are the ideas we reimagine the way we live, the way we do things. So when you wake up and you've got an idea, come on, let's talk about it. And then we'll give you the guidance. The student who started friend entertainment, have you come across them? They are CBUT students, 2 boys, in mechanical engineering, of course, came up with an idea. Prof, we want to start an entertainment business. That was 3 years ago. Are you out of your mind? Why do you want to start an entertainment business? No, we want to do intercampus music festival. I said, but if you do the intercampus music festival or inter-university music festival, these DJs that we see them on Facebook all the time, are you going to beat them? Can you eliminate them? Can you challenge them? So why are you going into that business that you know there are big names already there? You can't. But let's look at it differently. When students come onto your platform for your entertainment, the focus should not be the provision of the music. The focus should be creating a marketplace for the big guys, because they are looking for young people to sell their product too. So when you have created that, students will come and buy a ticket to go to your music festival, right? That is a package. That is a database. So you get the Trace. So now their main sponsor is Trace. Trace is sponsoring them, right? Trace is sponsoring them because you got a market. So now I come to you, student, again. Create content. So they are creating content onto the same platform that you are buying ticket from. So the focus is not your ticket. The focus is the content they're pushing to you. Because the person that is owning the content has already paid them for. So the money is not your gate fee. It is what? The content that has been created. So this is how we turn ideas around to look at the gap in the society, and then you can take advantage of that. Right. So there are so many, I can sit here and talk about what the students are doing. So be part of it, right? Now, CPUT has become part of the Africa MIT program, right? And the Africa MIT program is to make the universities who are partnering together an entrepreneurial university. That more of our graduates should go out there and create businesses, right? MIT makes a lot of money, right? MIT makes a lot of money, not from student school fees. Not from student school fees. MIT makes money from student innovation, right? Student innovation, they make millions of dollars from that. So if we as CPUT are going to make money and give bursaries and scholarship to students, it will not come from the government, it will not come from your school fees, it has to come from your innovation. And so we have to think of how do we create a legacy for our own children to come here. I can say this, that I didn't school here, I schooled at UCT. And so all my children went to UCT. Why? Because I have paid fees. I have two structures in UCT, so they must go and benefit. So when your children come up, which university are you going to send them to? The one you have to bring them down? Or the one you have built that has created the global reputation? So all those MIT graduates over the years send their children back to the same university to continue with the innovation they left behind. That has made them rich. Harvard, the same thing. Stanford, the same thing. It is only us that when students to toy, we bring down everything. Right? Which I have always got a problem with SRC. That they should fight for good things. The toilets that are broken, they should fight for it. rather than fighting for things that will not help your cause in the university. So coming back to the DBI, it is a well-structured qualification because now we have the undergraduate, we have got the doctoral qualification, we have got a doctor in doctor in business informatics. Now in the doctor in business informatics, you can't come to me and say, I want to do performance management, right? I want to do human resources. I want to do, no, I don't waste my time on that. All my doctoral students are giving me products. We are running businesses. You can't come and do doctorate with me and waste my time and just get your doctorate degree and walk away. I don't have time for that. I have to have an impact. The time that I spend must have an impact. So most of my doctoral students, the one that graduated last year, December, right? A guy from Congo. Do you know what he has produced? He can predict whether you will pass or not, or fail the course you are doing now. Right? He has developed an AI machine learning data analytics platform that when you go in, you put your first year results into it, and then you put your psychosocial information. Are you the firstborn of 5 children? Does your mother work? Is your mother a domestic worker? Is your father a driver? All those psychosocial factors are built in because sometimes your academic performance can be affected by those psychosocial factors. When your mother can't get money for you, it can affect the way you study because your mind is not on your books. And being intelligent, you can start going down. So those things, that application can help you by putting all the information. Therefore, the necessary intervention can be given to you so that you can excel. Done by a doctoral student in DBI, right? Because you got to combine management and go to combine what? Informatics or technology. So all the students I'm supervising under DBI are giving me products. If you don't give me product, sorry. There's a lady who has done e-apparel. E-apparel comes from the concept that many people want to dress the way it appeals to them, bringing out their own identity, right? I don't want to wear a shirt or a pants that 200 people are wearing, right? I don't shop in Eggers. I don't shop in Woolworths, right? Because I have to wear something that nobody has. So that my identity is always what? Unique wherever I go to. So this lady had come out with a research that validated the idea, and now we are creating the mobile app. That you take your phone and it will scan you from head to toe and give you your measurement. The technology is there. And then when your measurement had come, we have a database of different material and colors. So you can choose the Zulu color, you can choose the Pedi color, you can choose this, and then it will give you a dress that fits your measurement. And then you throw it into a cart where we have about 200 seamstresses or dressmakers. Immediately, somebody will pick up and say, yes, I can sew this for you for 350 rand and deliver it in 5 days. Because you go into a wedding on Saturday, or you go into a funeral on Saturday, and you want to look so good. Right? That nobody is wearing the same thing. And that is a master's thesis that has been developed. So you cannot waste your time here. Make sure everything that you are studying, you apply it in a manner that gives you that financial independence. Lastly, Bill Gates said, I'm a billionaire not because I want to become one. My focus was to do something to change society, to have an impact, to address society. When you do that, then the market is there. You'll be sleeping and the money will be dropping because people will buy it, and that is how you have become a billionaire. Do you know how Dangote, right? The African billionaire from Nigeria, right? Do you know how he made the money? He was selling flour. Because in an African environment, everybody eats bread, right? So on his street, you could see people chasing bread. And then the mummies in the area will go and buy flour to make the bread. So he said, why don't I supply flour to them? And then what comes next? Sugar. So he started organizing in large quantity, economy of scales, and strong bargaining power because he's buying land quantity. Was able to supply to this woman on his street, in his area, and then he started making the money. Now he's a billionaire from flour and sugar. What you can do today could change the world in the future. So you got to think, where are the gaps in our society? I was talking to my students yesterday and I said to them, do you know how we can change the gangsterism in our communities into something productive? They said, hey, Prof, you can't talk to those guys. They have guns. I said, yes. Now, the people who patrol on our street, ADT, are they also not holding guns? Right? All the security companies, are they all not also holding guns? So what stops you starting a business and working with these people to turn their gangsterism into another ADT for their own community, to patrol their streets and protect the houses and the children and the women on that street for a fee, not for free? So every house in that area can be registered on their database, and every month you pay 20 rand, we will look after you. Would the gangsterism not get away from the society? Would the drugs that they are pushing not get? Why do we have to use soldiers and police to bring them down when a business opportunity is there? So you look around and see all the challenges we are having and make it a business for yourself. I think my lunch is finished.
Okay, but we've not. Just support your place. All right. Now we have two questions.
Okay.
The first question is, let's go to the first question that has been asked. So,
What is the first question?
okay, it's coming down. How can business informatics contribute to economic growth in rural and urban areas of South Africa?
I've already indicated that in terms of your business informatics is giving you knowledge, right, in terms of business. Because remember, business informatics is made up of 3 different disciplines: business management, computer science, and information technology. So you have 3 worlds in you when you do business informatics, right? And so you use that knowledge and identifying the weaknesses or the what we call it, the gaps in our society. Now let me give you one. There is a doctoral student who comes from Nkanduli in the Transkei. And what she is doing, she had actually understood. She's doing BBI, right, which is Doctor in Business Informatics. And her topic is techno-agripreneurship. She is now trying to say, if I see matric students moving out of the rural areas to the towns and cities, how can we get them back when we have so much land, which are fertile? So let me look at how technology comes into what? Into agri. That can be turned into what? Business. That's why it's called agri-techno what? Techno-agri-business, right? Now, this is the fundamentals of it. Do you know that in Cape Town, you can get a truck that fits with a production line? Because that's what they're doing. You don't need to have a bottling plant in your wine farm. It's a truck that drives into your wine farm and take your barrels and bottle wine for you and then drive away. So now we are developing one for the processing of oranges, to orange juice, to mango juice, to pineapple juice, to banana juice, to any juice you want, or to tomato puree and the rest. So in that techno-agri business in the rural areas, you encourage people to go farming. Not you, the student, but with your entrepreneurial mind, you bring this truck in, they will package, and then you go. Let's say it's cabbage. It's growing cabbage. As a businessman, I have already negotiated with people in town that will buy the cabbage. So I come to you, the
cabbage grower. With this truck, we take all the cabbage and box it for you. Let's say your name is Nkosa. So in Nkosa, your box is written in Nkosa what? Cabbage. So when the truck comes in, boxes are just flat like this. Right? So you can now open them and assemble them. When you buy what? McDonald's or KFC, you see how they put the box together and put, so it can be done. So you carry all these boxes with the truck, comes into your farm. All these cabbage are washed through the production system, pack into the box, seal it, and then leave it with you. So by the end of the day, you've got about 200 cabbage boxes. A truck takes into town and distribute it from house to house and what? Sell fresh cabbage. Why do you need to come to the town and struggle to look for a job that you don't even have a place to stay, and then you have to stay in what? In a shack. When you are in the rural area, you are staying in a very comfortable house. So you can still do these things. So that is the framework the lady is developing to assist the youth to remain in the what? In the rural area, so that they can create their own jobs to feed themselves and feed the rest of the country. Right. So when you do business informatics in the rural setup, or even in our own township, this is what will change. When I started the center, I worked with students who were helping me to start the BBI. We went to a place called Zwalatemba, next to Worcester. We piloted a concept called e-village. If you go to my website, you will see the e-village. That e-village took me to Harvard, because the concept that we have developed is what they were looking for. How do we turn the economic situation around in rural areas and in our townships? Right. This is a BBI concept: business management, technology, and computer science. Right. And we're able to create a platform that called e-village that is now being piloted in other places, including Zwalatemba. Right. So your BBI gives you much space and understanding to go into rural areas and change their lives. And that is possible. Have I answered the question?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to question 2. What role does business informatics play in improving employment rates, especially among the youth?
Well, as I've already indicated, I'm somebody I always look at differentiating myself from others, right? Not just I want to become a superhuman being, or how do I put it? That I hate being the ordinary. Let me put it that way. I hate being the ordinary. I must always do something that bothers people's mind. I must always create something that differentiates me, right? And that is the spirit of the BBI. When you do the BBI, it enables you to differentiate yourself from the IT people, from those who studied pure management, right? It differentiates you. Because when you are talking management, you can talk, but you bring the IT dimension into it. When people are talking about technology and a computer application and the rest, you can say some, but you bring the management dimension into it. So it makes you unique. When you sit an interview and they are interviewing an IT person, they are interviewing a business management person, they are interviewing a BBI person, what then happens? Who would they give the job to? Tell me, who would they give the job to? When the panel are able to hear you talking about business enablers that can be what? That can be enabled by technology and not the other way around. Who would they give the work to? So in the BBI, as you are being taught, right, and doing all the assignments and tests, I hate tests and assignments, sorry, Stephen, right? I give projects, right? I give projects that put your knowledge into real things. I do projects. So I give them projects to go and do. I hate marking tests and exams. But I enjoy marking projects, looking at projects. And the project I don't sit down and mark, you will come and stand here and present, articulating the concept of the project, and I give you marks. And that is what made those students to build at Zemela. Because they have to present their business ideas, business concept for me to critique so that they become better and they were able to set up a business. Imagine they were writing tests and exams. Would they have built a company? Exactly. That's what differentiates me from other lecturers. So it differentiates me from, but I supervise his masters.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. I really appreciate it. Yes, sir. Exactly, this is what
He will soon become a doctor. Do you know that? He will soon become a doctor. He has passed. He has passed his doctorate already. So he's waiting for graduation.
Okay, it was a great honor to be here, Prof. And we appreciate your contribution. We appreciate also your participation and support of this program. Thank you so much. Please support Prof. Mike and